Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
U.S. trying to close the show. She was doing a great job of feeding that. It's over.
Coming up, so KP, don't you regret not coming to the net? Don't you regret not coming to the net?
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
All right. Well, that was I don't even know what to call that. That was a mess. Welcome to the podcast, episode 731. Heads up, if you if you like to watch the video edit of the podcast on YouTube or Spotify, this one is audio only. I just didn't have the time. It's actually Saturday afternoon. It's like past 1 p.m. So the game's in, 7 hours, not even. So I just want to get this in, so it might be quicker. And, this might be a good episode to make brief because I'm trying to get over it. Wow, what a loss last night for the Yankees. Game 1 of the World Series, and you lose in extra innings like that. What was it, the final 6-3 across 10? So I'm going to get right into it, man. It's tough. I'm a very big proponent on taking game 1 of any series, of any sport. I just feel like the game 1 winner usually takes that series, whether it be in an NBA series, whether it be in a baseball series, whatever. I feel like if you're playing a series of best of 5, a best of 7, even a best of 3, the game 1 winner usually has the better odds the rest of the way. And actually, in terms of baseball, there was a stat, I think Sarah Langs posted it on her Twitter last night. 80% of game 1 winners go on to win the World Series. I think that was a stat in the last 20 years. I think that was. So anything can happen, of course, right? You never know. The Yankees can still come back to win this series, but you don't want to start off being down 1-0. And that was a game you probably should have won. That was probably the one you needed to steal on the road. Tonight's going to be tough. But yeah, now the narratives are going to start, if the Yankees lose this one, you're going to hear some narratives, right? Now you're facing real competition. This is what happens, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the Yankees fans can't say anything after that. I mean, we got manhandled there in extra innings. That was embarrassing. And this is, something Yankees fans have always been saying. Like, if the Yankees are going to lose, they're going to beat themselves. And I really believe that's what happened last night. You had the right-hander Garrett Cole going up against the righty Jack Flaherty in this game. Bottom of the 5th inning, that was your first run. That came across Will Smith with the sac fly off Garrett Cole to make it 1-0 Dodgers. Yankees answer back in the top of the 6th. Giancarlo Stanton continues to just be a postseason hero. He's behind 1-2 in the count. He gets a curveball, hangs a little down in the zone and just hits a moonshot that stays fair left field. And all of a sudden it's 2-1 Yankees. This guy's been unbelievable for you. He's been so good. I gave him a new nickname, and I think everybody should be calling him Giancarlo Bargain Stanton now. The guy's, he's proven the value of the contract for what he does in the biggest month of the year. 2-1 Yankees after 6. Bottom of the 8th, though, Luke Weaver's in the game. Mookie Betts hits a sac fly to tie the game. And then top 10. You're in extras. You got a guy on third base. It was Jazz Volpe at the plate. He hits into a force out to shortstop. Edman can't handle the play. Jazz scores. And that was with Blake Trinan in the game to put the Yanks up 3-2. That was a big run. So all you need is 3 outs and you win this game. The Yankees get 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 10th. Well, not 2 quick outs, but they get 2 outs. They're 1 out away. And we go to Cortez there, and Freeman walks off to hit the grand slam on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate. And so the Yankees lose in 10 innings, 6-3. Their bats score 3 runs on 10 hits, 8 of them singles. They had 4 walks. They struck out 13 times. And they were just 1 for 8, of course, with runners in scoring position. Jack Flaherty looked pretty solid, 5 1/3, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. He diced the Yankees up with the breaking ball, as I expected. The Yankee arms, Cole was excellent, but the bullpen continues to flop because they lack swing and miss, and their manager just has no testosterone. So we'll talk about the pitching in a bit. We'll talk about the lineup. The defense was poor last night, too. No base running mistakes last night that I can remember, but the defense was poor. You had the play, what was this, in the 8th inning? Soto, the ball off the wall. He gets lazy getting the ball in, takes a minute to throw it. One hops it to Torres, who cannot handle it. That's a play you cannot get lazy on. And then the ball gets by Torres, and nobody's backing it up. So Ohtani takes the extra base there. So that's on Soto, lack of urgency. That's on Torres, lack of focus. That's on Rizzo, not backing up there. That ends up hurting them. Ohtani gets the third, and he ends up scoring off the sac fly. How many times on this show, I shouldn't even say that, how many times per episode on this show do we bring up execution of fundamentals and how the Yankees just don't have that because they just don't value it in the Aaron Boone regime? This is not something they press. Clearly, this is not a coincidence. Okay, it's been going on since 2018. This continues to happen because they just don't care about it. These are all star players. They're going to hit home runs, and that's how they'll win games. Who cares about routine plays, fielding ground balls, turning to, hitting the cutoff, backing up a throw? Who cares about that, right? Tagging, going from first to third on a base hit, or scoring from first on a double. Who cares about that type of stuff? Making the right reads in the field on the bases, because they're just going to hit home runs. It's okay. These guys got it. So they don't value it. They don't put any kind of focus on it. They clearly don't. And you could tell because it keeps happening in postseason games. So they beat themselves. And you got the play to Cabrera late in the game, not getting the ball to his right off the bat of Tommy Edman. That's a ball Torres probably gets that. You're bringing a guy as cold as Cabrera, cold off the bench, coming into the game there because Dominguez pinch ran for Torres with Judge at the plate. It might have been a double play to end the game if Torres is in there. But at the very least, that doesn't happen. Obviously, that run ends up scoring with the grand slam. But yeah, I want you got to point that out right away. The defense was very poor. Very poor. It's the lack of fundamentals. It's that Soto Torres play with Rizzo not back. Like that was brutal. you're also not going to win many games when you score 3 runs in 10 innings. It's got to be better. It's got to be better on the bottom. Like, listen, Volpe's had a good postseason. You know, you're getting something there, but the bottom of the order, once you get past cleanup, really, 5 to 9, it's a bunch of singles and walks and stolen bases and, you know, maybe some ground ball outs to move a runner over. But, you know, it's nice. There's something there, and I don't know. I'm trying to be kind. Like, there's the bottom of the order, you're stacking lefties, and there's no power. That's what it comes down to. You're in the postseason. There's zero pop, 5 to 9. Between Chisholm, Wells, Volpe, Rizzo, Verdugo, they have a combined 1 home run this entire postseason. Jazz Chisholm, who I love what I saw from him last night, the value was exactly what he played some good third base. He got on base. He stole 3 bags, 2 hits. Every time he's on base, he's an automatic runner in scoring position. That's why they traded for him. Love him. But he's not a power bat. Where he's slugging 282 this postseason. Austin Wells has been a ground ball machine. Can't catch up to the high fastball. He's slugging 184. Anthony Volpe, love him. He's getting on base a ton. He's slugging 303. Alex Verdugo has brought you 0 power. He's slugging 257. You know, at what point do you go to Dominguez there? And I know it's difficult because Verdugo made an excellent catch last night late in the game, but he's playing great left field this entire month. But it is getting late. You know, it's the World Series, and you kind of need some pop at the bottom there. I would not hate if I saw Dominguez. I think you might need to bite the bullet. He's a switch bat with power and speed. I know they're not going to do that, but in my opinion, I think it's very important to at least, there needs to be more balance. Like, you need to put a lefty in between Judge and Stanton. After last night, that's got to be the tip of the iceberg for the whole Judge-Stanton back-to-back thing. I never loved it. I was always an advocate of getting a lefty in between them to balance out the order and stagger. You know, because otherwise, you know, guys like Anthony Banda and Alex Vesia, who are the 2 lefties that the Dodgers have, they're just going to mow through 5 to 9 because you're stacking lefties there at the moment. They're going to intentionally walk Volpe, which they did last night, and just face the lefties. I think you have to spread their outs out. You know, just stagger out the lineup there. Go back to left, right, left, right. You need a threat after cleanup. So I think Jazz with Rizzo following that, or vice versa, maybe you go back. Like, okay, Torres, Soto, Judge, cleanup, you go Jazz or Rizzo. Stanton 5, 6, you go Jazz or Rizzo. And then 7, 8, 9, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo. So that's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. You know, you might be weakening the top a little bit there, but you're creating a much tougher lane for Dave Roberts 5 through 9 than you were prior to. And honestly, like, you're starting to hear noise because it's gotten so bad with Judge. Like, you could always move. I mean, they're not going to do this. I know they're not going to do this. Moving Stanton to 3 over Aaron Judge. Like, it's the World Series. There's nothing else left after this. Why not? Why not? You know, you got Stanton 3rd. Again, Jazz or Rizzo 4th. Judge 5. Jazz or Rizzo 6. Volpe, Wells, Verdugo 7, 8, 9. Or, again, Dominguez would be great, to be honest. So 3 to 9, you got right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Like, they're probably just going to keep running it back because that's how they work. That's how they operate. They're stubborn. They stick with their plan. Which means, if that's what they decide to do, then once again, it's just going to come down to the captain of the Yankees, number 99, needing to hit. Aaron Judge needs to hit. And Aaron Judge, I'm sorry to say, I just don't have faith anymore. The guy's a choker. He's a choker. He was 1 for 5 last night, 3 strikeouts. He left 3 on base. Came up a couple times with the man on first. Came up another time with the guy on second. Didn't get the job done. This postseason, across 10 games now, he's batting 6 for 36. That's a 167 average. He has a 304 on base percentage, a 361 slugging percentage, a 665 OPS. 16 strikeouts in those 10 games, which gives him a 35% K rate. Absolutely abysmal. You're not winning a World Series this way. We can talk strategy and lineups and bullpen decisions all we want. If Aaron Judge isn't Aaron Judge, you're not going to win the World Series. The one thing I asked from Judge this postseason was for him to just at least slug. Right, and we talked about this in one of our preview playoff episodes with Dom Randazzo when he joined us. He said it himself, we need him to slug. You know, like the batting average, the on-base percentage, that might not be the same against playoff pitching. Understandable. But he has to be the same slugger at the very, very least. 360, that's not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. That one home run against Emmanuel Clase, that's not enough. Judge looks lost. The at-bats are terrible. He looks overmatched. He's starting to press out there. It's clearly in his head. He's swinging out of his shoes. The at-bats are regressing. The first strikeout last night, he swings and misses on 2 breaking balls by Flaherty. The second strikeout of the night, he swings and misses in the same at-bat. He gets 2 mediocre fastballs up in the zone. And he ends up striking out on a curve below the zone. The third strikeout of the night, he fouls off a 93-mile-an-hour meatball in the middle of the plate. And he ends up swinging and missing on another meatball fastball. He was late on both of those pitches. The 9th inning comes around. The Yankees are up 1 run. Juan Soto gets intentionally walked to face the captain of the Yankees with 2 on and 2 out. For the second time this postseason, that happened. And Judge does nothing there against Trinan. Blake Trinan doing what he does. He gives him 4 consecutive sliders to start the at-bat. Judge is behind 1 and 2. One of them was a hanger that he just fouled off. Hung it right in the middle of the zone. He fouls it off. And then he gets a mediocre 93-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. And he pops it up to Tommy Edman at shortstop. How many times has Judge gotten a perfect pitch to punish this month? And he ends up doing nothing with it. It's got to get better with Aaron Judge. The Yankees are not winning this series without Aaron Judge. We're going to head to break. Get back and we'll talk about the Garrett Cole thing.
Hey there, thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4.
Welcome back to the show. Episode 731. Hope you're all having a good day. Hey, the Knicks won last night. We'll talk about them. Hopefully we get an episode out before Monday. Garrett Cole last night looked very sharp. You know, I wouldn't say he was at his peak, but he looked very good. 6+ innings, 1 run, 4 hits, no walks. You know, he had the tough first inning where he gave up some bombs that almost left the park, but like hard hits. You know, he left a bunch of pitches in the middle of the plate. But he figured it out. He settled in. He found his swing and miss in the next couple innings, and he ended up going 6+ brilliant frames. Bottom of the 7th inning comes around. I don't even remember who it was to, but he gives up a harmless leadoff base hit on the 88th pitch of his night. And out comes the skipper. Now, at this moment, it was like a longer conversation on the mound than I expected, so I thought Cole was going to stand his ground and pull a Messina, but he's out of the game. And Aaron Boone pulls Garrett Cole, your horse, on the 88th pitch of the game, where he's gone 6 innings, 1 run. It's World Series game. Why do you pay this guy? Why do you pay him the $300 million contract that you're paying him? What's the point? He's your horse. This is your ace. Not long ago, these guys were allowed to throw 120 plus pitches in the World Series. You're pulling Garrett Cole at 88 pitches in the 7th inning? Why do you pay him? You ride and die with this guy. This is the guy you signed to do exactly this. Why are you taking away that opportunity from us? I mean, Derek Jeter said it perfectly. Him and A-Rod were on the money in the postgame, hammering Boone. And I'm sure if they said that on camera, I can only imagine the shit talk they were, giving Boone off camera. Yeah, like you might think this is like old man yelling at cloud like back in the day, but like you don't pull your ace with 88 pitches. That is the stupidest, dumbest example of overthinking. And this didn't just hurt you in this game, but it hurts you for the rest of the series. You used an unnecessary amount of relievers when it could have very easily just been Garrett Cole to Luke Weaver for the 8th and 9th. The Yankees don't have the pen that they used to. We don't have enough firepower in the back end of that bullpen to pull Cole at 88 pitches. The Yankee bullpen doesn't have horses who throw 100 miles an hour like seemingly every other fucking team does. They have these guys who are specialists with one pitch. Guys who spin the ball. This guy's got a good changeup. This guy's got a good two-seam sinker. This guy's got a good this, that. They don't have guys who throw gas. They don't got guys who get swing and miss. They can't afford to pull their ace at 88 pitches. This is game 1. He needs to be the one who goes deep because your rotation 2, 3, and 4 are going to be pulled because of the third time through the order garbage. Like, Cole's the one who needs to go deep in the game for you. You need to let him go to the 7th. And then to go to Clay Holmes with the runner on base then, that's annoying. We know who Clay Holmes is. He's a traffic machine. He's a mental midget. He needs a clean inning. That's not a guy you want to bring into a game with a guy on base because he's always bound to spike a pitch in the dirt or hit a batter with a pitch, and he did just that. So that was just terrible to waste a gem from Cole, a guy who should have got the win there. You have to win those games, especially with Garrett Cole, being a little bit inconsistent this season. You never know when the next gem is going to be from Cole. That could have been the last one you get. Coming off the injury at this age, he's not exactly been A1 Garrett Cole anymore. So you have to take advantage of the days where you get 6+ 1 run. And he pulls them. And the Yankees lose. Of course, many fans are upset over the Nestor Cortez decision. He comes in to face the heart of the order in the 10th inning. This is a guy who hasn't thrown in over a month. A guy who's not even a relief pitcher. If you want the lefty there, if you want a lefty with a BP fastball, just go to Tim Hill. Because at least Tim Hill has been consistently pitching for you. He's in rhythm. And he was getting outs for you too. He's had a good postseason. But you're going to a guy who hasn't thrown a pitch in a month. I don't care about the matchups. It's about time that you have some feel. Go with feel over the numbers game. And it's great that Cortez got Ohtani out. Did you see the pitch he left up to him? It was a very similar pitch to the Freeman pitch. Then he intentionally walks Mookie Betts, who has, by the way, he's 0 for 5 versus Cortez. He puts him on first to get to Freeman, who mashes left-handed pitching, especially with the bases loaded. And, it's all history from there. I think you could have went back to even before Cousins comes out, you go back to Weaver for a third inning of work. Because Weaver's final line, an inning and 2/3, no runs, no base runners, 19 pitches only. Now, I know, it hasn't looked amazing for Weaver lately. The metrics are even scary. The changeup doesn't look the same lately. He's getting a lot of hard contact. He's not getting a ton of swing and miss. Didn't get a strikeout on this. But he got results, and he looked better in the 9th inning with some soft contact there to the last two batters. I still think Tim Hill was probably the move there. Now, some people saying Tim Hill, the same thing would have happened with him on the mound. Maybe, but you don't know that. That doesn't make Cortez the right move. Tim Hill was the better move. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie. At the time, I didn't hate the move. Twitter's going wild. But, looking back, it was kind of a bad move. But what I'm more pissed about is not the move itself. It's the pitch sequencing. Why are you challenging Freddie Freeman inside when he's already sitting dead red fastball? You just threw the same thing to Ohtani. There's not a single pitch Freeman's looking for there outside of the fastball. And Cortez gives him a 92-mile-an-hour meatball right down the dick. Gone. Mute the television, turn it off, put the TV cover on the TV, walk inside. That's what I did. So, I just didn't love the pitch calling. First pitch fastball. What are you doing? Challenges him right there, right inside. That's his zone. So now you're going into tonight, and the season's either going to end tonight or you live another day. I personally have, this is me, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not exactly the optimist. I think Dodgers have taken this series. I think the Game 1 winner, they have home field advantage. I think it's theirs. But if you go down 2-0, then I think everybody's going to pretty much mail it in. I don't care if it's going back to the Bronx for 3. You can't go down 2-0. This is the season. This is Carlos Rodon. Now you need Carlos Rodon to pitch the game of his life. Because the bullpen has been used now. Rodon's been so-so this postseason. He had the bad Royal start. He had the gem. And then he had a so-so start after that. He's been fine. I don't know if I trust him mentally to get it done against this Dodger lineup. And on the flip side, the Yankees are going to have to go up against Yoshi Yamamoto, who is going to spam splitters to your lefties. He's going to go to the curveball to your righties. So you better be on him. He's got a very flat fastball. So much like Flaherty, when you get the fastball, you can't miss it if you're the Yankees. So we'll see what happens. Let's head to our final break. We're going to wrap it up when we get back. Stay with us.
If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
Welcome back to the show. Let's wrap this up with our trivia question of the day, because I want to get this episode up and stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about this game. Here's our trivia question for episode 731 here. Which pitcher won Game 6 of the 2009 World Series to bring the Yankees their 27th title? All right. Which pitcher won Game 6 of the 2009 World Series to bring the Yankees their 27th title? All right. So that's it. Hope you all enjoyed this show. I'll try to get this next episode up as soon as I can. But, it's a lot. And baseball and basketball overlapping right now. We'll do the best we can. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks. See you later. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you, and we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees and go Knicks!